So the plan was, if I get my projects done at my business, my restaurant, this morning, if I had everything finished up and things were working, I was going to do this. I was going to make an assault on Biggins again. Well, the project got done. Fire's put out for now. Everything working the way it's supposed to. But I just don't have it in me to pursue this today. That's a lot of work. So all this is getting put back up. And we're going to do something new. It's going to be fun, I hope. It's going to involve, well, a little bit of this. It's going to involve a little bit of that. And for the rest, you'll have to stay tuned. This is Hickbilly Outdoors with D.W. Verts. We're going to another adventure. Woohoo! Okay, everybody, here we are. My adventure. I'm in my kayak for the first time. Well, a year ago, right here in this same creek, I used it. We had a landowner had a beaver problem. We come in here, beaver was deciding he liked the landowner's soybeans too much. So we come in and took care of some of that. But I haven't fished out of this kayak in over 2 years. And I brought a fishing pole with me too. I tried to arrowhead hunt this the other day, and there's actually a hole of water up there that's 4 or 5 foot deep, and it's soggy bottom all around it, and I just give up. So we're going to get up in there a little ways and fish our way up, because I saw some bass. I actually saw some 12, 13 inch bass, which I haven't caught a bass in this creek since 1998 or 9. So we're going to have a little fun and do some artifact hunting and do some bass fishing and whatever else happens. So wish me luck. Here we go. Another adventure.
Right underneath it, little bass. Well, we missed it. Little bitty bass. There aren't going to be any big bass. And the fact there's any bass at all, guys, for years, you didn't find a bass in here. I'm not sure where they went, what happened to where they went. Well, I know where they went. They got 8 otters. Then we had a big drought. Creek's dried up. But I saw 3 or 4 bass the other day wading up through here that were 12, 13 inches long. Even in the day, you really saw a bass bigger than that in here. There was one used to be underneath the slab behind me a couple years. He's over 4 pounds, and he was, oh, just extremely, extremely sharp. I even come down one time at night to try to catch him. So I'm going to fish a little bit, and then I'm going to, no way I can get through that. I have to portage that gravel bar, probably several of them. I may not be able to go any farther than it, because holes in this creek deeper and a couple foot deep are pretty rare. Now, this kayak will float in just inches of water, even with my fat butt in it. So, used to catch a lot of big old green sunfish in here. I mean, you know, bigger than your hand. The part that I miss most is this stream. Most of these around here used to have smallmouth bass in them, and that's, again, the late 90s. It all happened pretty much overnight. The otter finally come in and destroyed. And that's what it was. There's people that argue that. No, it's pretty much all known fact now. So I'm artifact hunting and I'm fishing all at the same time. Now, back in the day, when we did something like this, usually it was with a rifle or a shotgun and a fishing rod. We call it cast and blast. Well, we can't call it that now because we're not blasting, so we got to come up with a name for it. Cast and cash. I'm going to spend more time looking at it. It's like when I'm trapping, I spend more time arrowhead hunting sometimes I do trapping. Well, there a fish announced himself from 3 or 4 foot away. There, I got him. He announced himself from a long ways away. That's cool. I like it when they say, hey, we're going to come over. That's a little bass. Cool. First bass here this century. Got a bunch of buddies following him in. Well, I had a bunch of buddies. They didn't like his boat. Look at him go. First bass here since probably 1998 or 9. Boy, he's all beat up. It's a little largemouth. Very fat, very healthy fish. Just healthy. He's all beat up on the belly. Trying to get away from otter or what. That was cool. There you go. Success. How you beat that? Now I need to find a rock. There's one. They're up there in that shade. They're liking that shade a lot. Boy, they fight. Oh my gosh. That bass that lives in the current all the time is going to pull. And of course, this light tackle. Pulling this kayak though. Isn't that cool? Pull me up into my hole though. Boy, it would just blow me away to catch a smallmouth. It would give me hope for the world. Look at that cute fat. Of course, he's all rubbed up on the belly too. It's 8-inch bass. Man, he's just gorgeous. So let's turn him loose. Bye, guy. Jump, jump, jump. Oh, what a good boy. What a sweetheart. That dude. People. For right now, this moment, life is good. I just had about a 2-foot long gar come up and gulp some air. That'll never happen on this thing. You'll never get them hooked, but they might bite it. Never used to see gar in this creek. Ever. Got to come up with a name for it. We can't go cast and blast. What it's going to be? Cast and chirp? That don't sound quite as good. Cast and cash? Well, it'd be cool to find a cache, but there's a bass behind it right now. Here he comes. Da-da. Da. Oh, he ain't going to come. He ain't wanting it. What's the deal? There's another bass right there in front of me. And there's a gar. All kinds of stuff going on all of a sudden. And here comes the gar. Well, whole school gar underneath that thing. Oh no, here comes the gar and there, oh. Okay, so we're on this first big gravel bar above where we put in. That's all the further we went, all that excitement and fun. It's just amazing. So I'm gonna hunt this side up a ways. I found a lot of tools up there years back. And then come back down and hunt this riffle. And then decide if we're going to drag the boat across, portage over this next pool, see if it's worth doing. Because there's some more fish to be caught in that one, and it's all good. So I must stroke up through here and see if we can find something. There's a lot of stuff to look at here. Okay, so I don't know how many tips I can keep giving y'all. Every time I think of something, I kind of feel a need to pass it on. This bar here is only 15 yards wide. It's pretty easy to do. What I'm doing is I zigzag. I mean, it sounds pretty basic, but I probably go 5 foot at a time. So I'm seeing, I figure my field of view 5 foot's pretty close. I mean, I spotted stuff way off, but especially in all this gravel and crap and all these weeds. So I'm going down here, I make a circle and come back up 5 or 6 foot away. That means I'm looking at some of the same stuff I just looked at, but that's fine. That's good. Different angles, shadows show things different. So that's just a quick tip for y'all. So I've decided to take a break here. I'm probably 45 yards from where I parked that kayak, maybe 100 yards from the road. I'm not sure what's around this next bend. It's awful growed up. I get in the pretty rock up here and I got a lot of sycamore leaves and sycamore bark and just hard to find things. But I have so many points and artifacts in my pocket, I figured I better stop and show you. Okay, maybe that's not what I've got, but I've got some cool stuff. You all may not get excited about stuff like this, but does that not look like a piece of petrified tree? I'm told that it's not. Look how gorgeous that thing is. I've got some points made from petrified rock. From petrified trees.
I'm told that's not what that is, but boy, it sure looks like a piece of tree, don't it? I know I'm getting these wet and that's cheating, but whatever. I'm cheating. Look at that pretty thing. Big old core, a lot of quartz, a lot of pretty pieces took off of it. Look at that, just gorgeous, but just a core. Hard to nap anyway, but they sure tried to get some stuff off of that. I said nothing major. This little piece has been worked all down that edge. I think it's been broke several times in the creek since then. I'm not really sure if there's anything ever. It may have been, I guess truthfully looking at it now, it was more like an adze in shape. Yeah, I guess so looking at it now. It's busted bad. Here's just a fancy flake. Real pretty, got a lot of stuff drawn off of it. I don't know if y'all can see that good, but real pretty. Kind of a rarer rocket, dark gray and black. Another real pretty piece of that. Look at that edge on that. Look at that. They work that thing down. And that stuff is hard to nap, guys. That quartz does that not just make you want to jump in a creek somewhere? Look at that beautiful rock. That one's going in the rock garden for sure. A lot of flaking on it, a lot of, oh my gosh, it's just gorgeous. Wow, that made a success there, and it's not really, I don't know if it was ever really anything, but look at that edge. Look at that. I know, just a frickin' rock. Big old flake. Whoops, still a flake. Big old wicked looking Jeff City Church flake. Oh, now this I think is Mozartite, or just a variant of. Again, gorgeous, got some quartz in it. Got the blues, the grays, the reds, maybe even a little greenish shade. I thought I was just picking up a rock. I realize now that it has been hit on, napped on. Horribly, because this thing is never, I couldn't get anything out of that. That needs to be cooked. That needs to be put in hot sand in a fire or whatever for several days. Look at that. Focus on now if that can get that or not. Definitely been worked. I didn't realize that a few minutes ago. I'm not going to threaten to eat this one like I did last video, but I'm pretty sure that looks awful flat. That looks awful frickin' old what that looks. So it's obviously a broken something. So see what we got. There you go. Oh man, look at that busted blade. Oh my gosh, they're always busted when they're in the creeks, seems like. Holy smokes, look at the size of that thing. And that thing, my gosh, at least a third, maybe as much as half of it's gone. That thing was a massive, massive Lamine River knife, a Morse blade, who cares? I founded this mine. Isn't that groovy? That was right over there where I just showed that rock. Oh man, so that's cool. That's a successful trip again, guys. I'll get a better read on it in a little bit. I'm tickled to death. I walked up, looked down at that thing right between my feet, and I said, oh! And boy, did it match everything else around it. I'm glad my eyes still work good enough to catch that. So I'm fixing to head back on down the creek. I got a jug of water calling my name. Thought I'd sit down here and show y'all kind of what I've done. I just spent 30 minutes picking up a rock every few seconds. About wore me out. That is as many chips and chunks as I have seen in a long time on a creek. And it's just junk, I guess. But here's a uniface chip that's been beat on all the way around. Just a uniface, turtleback, whatever. I don't know what they was doing. As usual, thumb scraper, whatever they call that. I don't believe none of it. I picked this one up because it's just so pretty. You see how it's been napped on. It's got the bulb of percussion right there. That thing was broken off the rock. It was hit right there. Is how it was drove off the rock originally. Beautiful piece. Look at that. And then he tried some reduction. I'm not really sure again. Lots of flakes, lots of hits on it. It is worked around the edge though. I guess it could have been potentially something. See how sharp that edge is? I don't know, guys. I'm not trying to make it. Well, I mean, it's real fine flakes. Look at that. Can you see that? Is that focusing on that? Turn the camera upside down. Maybe. I'm going to keep it. It's kind of cool. This one here is, again, kind of a little mystery, except it's just beautiful rock, but it's driven off of a piece that will never nap. There's not enough silica content. That is just igneous rock. It's horrible. But look at that. It's the inclusion on the good stuff. And look at that point they made. Can you see all them little edges worked on it like a hoe? I don't know. Ugly and gorgeous all at the same time. I just don't know. I'm not smart enough to understand, okay? Another piece, it's all broken now. Again, look how fine that edge is. It's been worked all around that edge. Very fine work. Beautiful. Look at, can you see that flaking, I hope? It's not a point, but it is an artifact. I'll argue that point at forever. And this one, guys, I don't know. I had to pick it up. I passed up another one like this earlier. It has some wear marks on the end. I don't know. It feels to me like it may be a pestle. I just don't know. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my rock garden because it looks just good there. It does here in this creek. It does not have a bunch of tooling marks on it. I don't think. It's been wore down. It's not a hammerstone. I don't know. It feels like it could be a pestle. It's got some wear on the end, but I'm going to keep it because I can. On down the creek, I'm going to catch a few more fish. Getting hotter, hotter, hotter. All great. So I'm thinking this is just a chip. But you got to admit, that looks pretty suspicious, don't it? For some reason, it doesn't feel right. I'm right back by my kayak. No, I'm pretty certain that's just a broken. It's, you know what's funny? It's a napped flake. It really is. It's been reduced. Well, you know, guys, if it's a drill, it's a uniface. I've never seen one like that. It's sure been hit on all the way around, though. Dead gun.
I'm not going to be able to fish as fast as I'd like for the bass and keep it down. Oh, there's a pumpkin seed. Boy, they're pretty little things. They are little, though. If y'all don't have pumpkin seed, that's what we call them. Because obviously they look like a, isn't that beautiful fish? That little pumpkin seed, usually you catch them like this when they're spawning. These things are done spawning. They're way brighter than that when they're spawning.
Thanks for watching, y'all. I've had better days. I've had a lot worse. Hope y'all enjoyed that. God bless.